It's strange how sometimes a single comment can stick with you longer than an entire conversation that you have with someone that you love. You see, I wasn't planning to talk about this one, okay? But here we are. So, recently, someone commented on my channel and he said, "You are not your mind. Thoughts are just clouds floating by. You are simply the observer. Give up everything for awareness. Self realization will enlighten you. Understand this, and have a good laugh." I don't know why, but like something about that comment really bothered me, and not in a angry way. It was more of like light bulb and like gears turning in my head, like hold the hell, hold on. Do you actually live like that, or is that just something that you copy pasted from a spiritual page? Yeah, from a spiritual page in a book. Because when I read it, I felt a little sting in my chest because it's almost like someone was trying to simplify something that had cost me years of my life to understand. Okay? Like they were somehow like downplaying or dismissing the reality of what it feels like to be an actual human being with an actual mind that does not shut up at all just because you observe it. Let's be honest, okay? If thoughts were really just clouds floating by, most of us would be living perfectly peaceful lives, enlightened and all by now. But that's not what happens, is it? The reality is, some thoughts don't just float, okay? Some thoughts grab you by the throat and choke you, and some thoughts feel like they have been waiting for your weakest moments so that they can, like strike. And, there are some thoughts that don't even feel like thoughts at all. They feel like memories sinking into your soul, sinking their teeth into your soul. My dad used to tell me, Marty, your mind isn't a sky, it's a garden. If you ignore it, the weed wins. Not the weed, grass wins, okay? And I never understood the weight of that until I got older. Because, my mom likes to garden, okay? And the thing with gardens is that when you ignore a garden, nature doesn't just say, just trying to be mindful today. Let me just keep everything tidy. No, it grows wild and chaotic. Heck, it grows whatever it wants, as a matter of fact. And the human mind is the same, okay? If you do not tend to it, feed it, shape it, challenge it, keep it clean, you do not become enlightened, okay? You become very lost in a field of weed. I hear people say this a lot. I am not my mind, okay? I am simply the observer. And I get what they are trying to say, okay? They are trying to detach from the unnecessary suffering and they're trying to find peace. And I respect that, okay? But the problem is that people forget the other half of the truth. You might not only be your mind, but your mind still shapes everything about your life and your reality. It shapes your reactions, your decision making, your voice, and your actions, as well as your self worth, your habits, your personality, and even the lies that you tell yourself when you are alone. Ignoring all that doesn't make it go away, it just makes it grow in the dark. My mother used to remind me, okay, the things that you refuse to face will show up in your behavior. And that is the painful truth, okay? You can pretend to be this floating, enlightened observer all day online, but your tone, your relationship patterns, your fears, those are what really tells the truth. And when I hear people say, don't give up and like give up everything for awareness. I think awareness of what? Just the observing part? Or the part where your childhood's trauma still whispers your name every time that you're alone? Or is it the part where your insecurities speak louder than your self worth? Or how about the part where you sabotage all your opportunities because you are too scared that you don't deserve them? Awareness isn't enlightenment, okay? Awareness is confrontation, facing it head on. You know, it's brutal honesty. It's seeing the part of yourself that you spend years avoiding. Awareness is the start of healing. And sometimes it's the start of breaking. Let's get biblical. Okay. In the Bible, it says, each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own desire. Not the neighbors, not the devil's. It's by their own desire. That tells me something, okay? Your mind is not a cloud, okay? Your mind is a force to be reckoned with, okay? And pretending that you are above it doesn't make you holy, okay? It makes you very vulnerable. And look, I get why people cling to these ideas, okay? Like, watch your thoughts, just let it go, just be an observer. It feels very clean, it feels safe, even noble sometimes, because it feels like you are floating above your problems. Who wouldn't want that, right? But here's the dangerous part to this, okay? Detachment can also be mistaken as denial, okay? Self observation can also turn into self avoidance, and stillness can become stagnant, and awareness can become the mask that you wear to avoid responsibility. There's really a thin line between all of these things. Some of the calmest people on the outside are the most chaotic on the inside because they've learned how to detach, but not how to deal with it. They know how to observe, but they're not so sure how to act at all. They know how to flow, but not how to walk with both feet on the ground. And if I am being honest, I've been detached before, okay? I tried sitting there and watching my thoughts like they were clouds. I was detached, separate from it. But the clouds of thoughts didn't pass. They circled like vultures. You can just think of them as vultures circling you. And they wait until I convinced myself that I was above them. And then they attacked me the moment that I stopped pretending. The truth is, you do not escape your mind by simply observing it, okay? You escape your mind by understanding it, confronting it, and sometimes wrestling it to the way that Jacob wrestled the angel, okay? With fear, with sweat, with trembling hands and limbs, and but also with, determination. Like someone said, the only way through it is through. You are not just the observer, okay? You are also the participant. You are also the architect. You are also the fighter in the ring with your own thoughts, punching you in the face and in the ribs every single morning and every waking minute of your life. This idea of you are not your mind, it's half true, okay? It's true in a sense, but there's something missing from it, okay? And that's the problem with half truths, okay? They are pretty enough to seduce you, but incomplete enough to ruin you. You are not just your mind, okay? And you are not just separate from it either. Your mind is a part of you the same way that your heartbeat is a part of you. You can watch it, sure, but you still have to live with it, to shape it, to train it, and challenge it, and heal it. Because if you do not, you are not enlightened. You're asleep. And the worst part about that is that people who go too deep into the detachment mindset, start laughing at everything, even their own suffering. And I do not mean in a joyful type of laugh, in a laugh of someone who thinks that they've transcended pain, but really, they've just numbed themselves to it. And that's not peace. That's emotional anesthesia. So, the person who commented, I hear you, okay? I see the intention. I can't completely agree, okay? Because transformation requires engagements. It requires you to do a couple of things. It requires a bit of struggling, a bit of responsibility, and sometimes it even requires being painfully aware. Sometimes it requires being painfully aware of the thoughts that don't just float away, the ones that cling, the ones that shape the way that you speak to your kids, the way that you show love, the way that you dream about your future, and the way that you self sabotage. You can't just observe from a distance, okay? You have to get your hands dirty sometimes. You have to step into the mess. You have to face yourself without needing to run away. And honestly, that is what I want this channel to be, not just a place where we pretend to float above our where we pretend to float above our humanity, but a place where we confront it gently and honestly without having to perform or to pretend to be anything. So if this hits something in you, if it smacked you across the face, if it stirred something that you have been avoiding, I would really want to hear your thoughts, okay? Comment them, talk to me, talk to each other. And if you want conversations like this, subscribe and like the video and share it. Not because I'm asking you to, but because maybe you want a space where honesty isn't punished and pretending is not required. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one. And until then, don't float above your mind. Face it. You might be surprised how much strength you actually have when you stop running and actually start engaging.